Once again, I have been denied, and I cannot. Hi, my name is Tiffany Joyson, and welcome to my channel. So, a lot of you may not know me, so I think this is a good way for an introduction. I think I've done an introduction previously before, but never one as in-depth as this. So, my name is Tiffany A. Joyson. You can find my books here on Amazon, Goodreads, bookshop.org, all that good stuff. It is currently Saturday, and I wanted to make a little reading and writing vlog for the whole week of March that I'm about to go through right now. And yeah. I also wanted to make a video about my reading that I've done in January and March. So I think I'm going to bundle this video as a reading vlog and also a reading review of all the books that I read in January and February. So yeah, you guys are going to get a lot of content from me in this one video. So let's get started. The first book that I read starting in January of this year is Tokyo Ghoul. I have a lot of love for the series. I really appreciate how it mixes horror, and I like the social commentary that comes with horror. Um, I bought the box set for myself of Tokyo Ghoul and Tokyo Ghoul Re for myself for Christmas, and it was probably the best gift that I could have gotten myself. It was so good. It was so touching. I really loved Kaneki's character development. I'm a little disappointed though. It ended in a similar way to the way the second season of the anime ended. And for those of you who don't know, the second season of the anime is called Tokyo Ghoul Route A, and it was not well received. It kind of ended the same way in Tokyo Ghoul the manga, and I'm just gonna put the timestamp on the screen in case you guys want to skip this. But the way that it ends in the anime is that Hideki, was that his name? Hide. Hide was his name, who was the best friend of the main character, Kaneki. And he kind of gets injured, and then he just walks off into the light and is captured by the ghoul investigators. In the manga, though, it kind of ends a little differently. He gets into a fight with what is considered the Reaper of the Counter Ghoul Intelligence Agency, which is Arima. He meets up with Arima, and Arima like fucks his shit up. Arima fucks his shit up, and he has like a psychotic break, and then he forgets everything about himself, and that's why you see him as a ghoul investigator in Tokyo Ghoul Re, which I also read for the month of January. This is Tokyo Ghoul Re, which is the sequel to Tokyo Ghoul. So I started off reading this series. I had completely forgotten what went on in this series. I don't know when I read it the first time, back when I was like in high school, probably more towards college, and I completely forgot everything that happened. I forgot the characters, all that kind of stuff. So it was good to refamiliarize myself with everything that was going on in this world. Um could not care less about his students, especially the one that ended up getting obsessed with him. Like, what was their name? Mitsuki. Mitsuki, I could not care less about them. They were so annoying. Mitsuki, Iwi, like I did not care for them in the slightest. I just wanted Kaneki to remember himself and do the shit that he was meant to do. And when he did remember himself and he went back to being like a ghoul, that made me very happy. I was happy for that change. I just felt like it took too long, and that's why I didn't like it. So that is part of the reason why I didn't like Ree as much. Yeah, so I didn't care for his students. I really love Toka and the development that she went through. Toka is my favorite character in the whole series. So to watch her like become pregnant and slowly grow a child, and then her and Kaneki ending up together. Do remember very clearly when it turned out that Toka and Kaneki were sleeping with each other, that there was a lot of backlash because a lot of Hide and Kaneki shippers were like, it's homophobic that he's writing that. And I just thought that was so fucking funny. That was so hilarious. Like, why is it homophobic that he's sleeping with a girl when it was never expressed that he was gay? It was a funny instance, and I couldn't help but think of that while I was reading, and it just made the experience so much better because I am a Kaneki and Toka shipper. So it was funny. It was interesting, it was very good. That reading this series just made me think of this one fan fiction that I was reading about Tokyo Ghoul, where the ghoul side was like eating his human consciousness. I need to find that fic. That was actually really fire. But that is just like a little piece of what I was reading at the time. And this took up most of January, I'm pretty sure. I was reading like Tokyo Ghoul for a hot minute in January. But then I also did read some other books. So we're going to talk about some of the other books that I read in January. So another book that I read in January is actually a book that I started in 2025, but I just never got the chance to finish it. And it is the final book in the um what was the name of the series? It completely escaped me. Hold on. It's gonna come back to me. The Poppy War. Yes, the Poppy War. Oh my god, why didn't I think of that? What the fuck? But this book, The Burning God, the final word in the Poppy War trilogy, is amazing. Oh my gosh, it was just so damn good. R.F. Kuang, the woman you are. Like, R.F. Kuang very easily became one of my favorite authors, and I breezed through the Poppy War like it was nothing. I loved the Poppy War. It was so good. The Dragon Republic was one that I was like waffling on. I really just trudged through that. It has what I like to call second book syndrome, where the second book is just really like busy work and it's just trying to transition you into the big finale. So it definitely had that, but I finished it. And then I started The Burning God, but I never had the will to finish it because I have this really bad habit that if I really like a series, then I will not finish it because I don't want it to end. And I'll just leave myself in limbo in order to make sure that the series doesn't end. And so I finally committed to finishing this book, and the ending was terrifying. Oh my gosh, that end had me shook. I was so upset with the way that it ended, but not upset in a bad way. I was just like, damn, I really wish it could have ended in a way other than this. Like, I just like you understood why R.F. Kuang made the character choose the way that she did, but you just really wished for some other resolution, that there was some other way for this story to end. But thematically, it ended perfectly. I feel like the themes that she was trying to get across were so clear and like poignant, and I was very, very sad with the ending, but I was also very satisfied because the way that the Burning God ends is just, it's perfect for the themes of the story. And though it's sad to see some of your favorite characters go, it just made so much sense that I couldn't even argue that they could have had a better ending. I just wanted them to win so badly. So we started off February with a bang, and the first book that I read in February was Blood Moon by Brittany S. Lewis. This had been described to me as like the Vampire Diaries, but if they actually loved and cared for Bonnie Bennett. And it was, how can I say it? Blood Moon is a good book. It is a good book. I'm not going to lie and tell you that it's not. But the goodness of this book was hindered by the writing. I just felt like the writing wasn't where it was meant to be. The relationships that happen in this book are fascinating. They're really good. Learning about her, the mystery surrounding her mother and all that stuff. Like it's a good series. I just felt like the writing wasn't as good. So it, like the plot was good. I love the plot, the characters, the premise, everything. I wasn't a fan of how Brittany S. Lewis writes. And that's a shame because it's a really good book. Like, I want to like this, but the writing just wasn't for me. Now, it might be for someone else. Someone else may love the writing, and that's good on them. But me personally, the writing wasn't for me. But other than that, I did like the story. I did like the lore. I like the thought of like vampires and werewolves. And she even introduced the thought of a mix of the two of vampires and werewolves. I just wasn't a huge fan of the writing, and that sucks. But overall, this book was good. I think I gave it like a 3.5 or 4 out of 5 stars. Like it was good. It's not long, so I feel like people should be able to get through relatively easily. It's just that for me personally, the writing wasn't where it was supposed to be. And yeah, like it could have been better written in my opinion, but it's just it wasn't for me, and that's okay. So yeah, that is Blood Moon. So for a non-spoiler summary, Tokyo ESP is basically about this girl named Rinka Urushiba, and she is not very well off. Her family isn't well paid. Her dad is out of a job and she has to work multiple jobs just to make ends meet. And something peculiar happens when she sees a glowing goldfish and it enters her body. And then she gets the ability to phase through objects. And that causes her a lot of stress and distress. And there's this whole terrorist organization full of people who have powers that rise up and try to take over Japan, specifically Tokyo, where she lives. And she has to stop them. And it starts off very lighthearted at first, but then the longer that you go through the series, the more depth that it gives to the characters and their thoughts and feelings and emotions, and the more complex the political situation becomes in the story. So it starts off very lighthearted, but then it gets very deep, and like you start to feel more of the characters and their struggles, and try to understand why they feel the way that they feel. And it's just a very good series in my opinion. It's very funny. um there isn't like fan service where they're like taking off her clothes for no reason like that. Some of the clothes are a little risque, but that's better. It's They're not like Fire Force where they're constantly stripping one of the characters. No, like she's not stripped for nothing. And it's a good series. You learn about the people who have powers. You learn about several different powers, and it's great. It's so much fun. And I really, really love this series. I remember I read it when I was in high school on a little piracy website. But now that I'm older and I have adult money, I can afford to buy the books that I want. So I bought the whole series. And so this is what I read in February. And I think that's all that I read in January and February. March is almost over. So I guess we can get into a little bit about what I've been reading in March, but I would like to leave that to do another update at another time. So that's all the reading that I have done in January and February. You guys are going to hear from me in March and April during another vlog. So stay tuned for that. So now begs the question, the vlog. When are we going to get to the vlog? And so the vlogging is going to start tomorrow. I just really wanted to get to a point where I could vlog and I can vlog my writing. At the moment, I'm currently writing the final book in the Voidbringer Chronicles, the series right here in this area. Um, and I wanted to make sure that you guys knew who I am, what I'm about, why I feel certain things are important to me. I'm currently writing Vanquish, but I'm also rethinking the structure of how I write, how I can write more sustainably because I tend to burn myself out very often. And so currently I'm not writing my my Vanquish, the final book in the Voidbringer Chronicles, and I am writing fan fiction so I don't get rusty. I like writing fan fiction, but you'll never catch me telling you what my fan fiction username is. But um I am currently writing fan fiction. It's a Game of Thrones Skyrim crossover, and it's something that I've been working on for years on and off. And so, since I'm not currently writing anything important, I'm not on a deadline or anything, I'm writing fan fiction just to explore my writing, experiment. One thing that I've been getting a lot of feedback on is that I use a lot of filter words that separate the reader from the character. And so now I'm trying to like not do that. And so fan fiction is a good way for me to like practice that with low stakes. So that way when I do my published writing, it's actually good. And so this is just kind of accountability for me. I am trying to get my writing to where I want it to be. I want to be a better writer. I have a bachelor's in creative writing, and I also have a master's in creative writing. So obviously I take this writing stuff seriously and I want to become better at it, and I want to submit to more magazines and write more short stories and that kind of thing. But the first step is always the hardest. And so this is Saturday. This is the last day of this week, but I'm making this so that you guys understand where I'm coming from and what I'm about to do. The vlog is going to start tomorrow, but for now, this is just a little bit about me, my reading, my writing, and what I'm trying to get done and what I'm trying to get across. Um, Fan fiction is important to me because I've always loved the the experimental aspect of it, the way that I can just experiment with my writing and I can explore any topic and nothing is too taboo for fan fiction. It's a good way to experiment because fan fiction has some really out there kind of shit, and so I can experiment with my out there ideas before I and kind of test the field to see if there is a market for it, and then I can publish it in the real world. So, fan fiction for me right now is my playground. It's a playground, and in recent months, it's started to become a hunting ground because you have publishers and agents looking to make fan fiction into published works, and I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like it's always been a playground for me, and for it to be turned into a hunting ground, I don't appreciate that. And I feel like the thing is, good fan fiction can never be transmuted into original work because it's so deeply entrenched in the fandom, in the IP that it is a fan work of. And so the more recent deal that I saw, all the young dudes, and how it was basically a prequel to Harry Potter about James Potter and the Marauders. I'm like, how are they gonna make that a into a original work? Because the the thing is, it's a prequel. It's literally a prequel. How the hell are you gonna make that into an original work when it's so deeply entrenched in the fandom, in the original intellectual property it's based off of? But she got a 7-figure deal for that. And I'm not knocking her. Like, she obviously must be a very talented writer if so many people know her work and for her work to get picked up. But I feel like it's bad too, because if you um if you interact with J.K. Rowling's work, she said she takes any interaction as support for her transphobic work in the UK. And I'm like, can you guys all please find another book to read? Like, people are like, oh, I miss Harry Potter. Oh, I'm gonna watch the new Harry Potter series on HBO. Leave that lady alone. Leave her alone. Because she said that if you support her work, if you then you support her beliefs. And like, I can't abide by that. I personally was never a Harry Potter fan, but I am, or I was, a Sarah J. Maas fan. And after she posted about Breonna Taylor's death, I really grappled with if I wanted to continue to support her. And I decided I couldn't. And so I stopped reading her works. I stopped supporting her. I, I think I need to unfollow her off Instagram. But I really did try to distance myself from her, despite the fact that her Throne of Glass series got me through college. Like, I no, I can't support a Zionist and someone who would be so blatantly racist. Like, how is that confusing? But I don't know. That's just me. We'll get to the vlog soon. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye. So this is the outfit for the day. I'm going to my writing group today, and this is what I'm going to be wearing. My writing group was pretty low maintenance. We don't like share our work with one another. We just tell each other what we're working on. And so yeah, this is what I'm going to be wearing for the day. And then hopefully I can come back and finish up this chapter. All right.
People will think I don't have anything, just to warn you. Okay, people will think like I don't have anything, and then because part of it is that I sometimes save all of the things for the theme and get them all at the end of the month, so that I can get them all at once. And I'm like, and then you how to decorate. Yeah.
Want some tacos? Anyone want some tacos? I had these since yesterday, and I was just like, why did I buy this? I'm like, I'm not the kids. I'm going to give myself indigestion.
I understand.
But every once in a while, a little spicy treat is good.
Also, okay, so the other reason I'm not like celebrating is kind of already good, because Kristen bought me a embarrassing amount of stickers from that Indigo Maiden store. So I love your love. Yeah, and these are my new ear helmets. Is what we're calling them.
Ear helmet. I'm glad my partner is basically your partner, because whenever I get jealous of your relationship, I'm like, but it's kind of like my relationship.
You're gonna see the two of their partners being a little put on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They look very different, but they're the same person.
One is a black man and one is a white, woman. But they're basically
And they're the same thing. Eventually, once you realize how similar they are, you will not be able to tell them apart. I've accidentally walked up to Kristen before and almost kissed her thinking it's my boyfriend. That actually happened to me in college. My
helping me cope with allegations.
never beat those. I mean, now that we're recruiting young people, we'll never beat those.
I hate that.
So it is currently 5 p.m. I got back at around 3:30, 4 o'clock from my writing group, and I was able to get down some words. I got down around 1,000 words. Um, I'm just really reflective right now because writing is something that I've always done. It's something that doesn't feel like work to me, but for my body, it is work. It is something that I have to sit and do and think about. And I'm coming to the realization that the way that I've been writing isn't sustainable. The way I used to write was I would write every day. I'd write a chapter a day. Each chapter is somewhere between 3 and 5,000 words. And I would get my books done. I would get my books edited, but it wasn't sustainable. I would burn out really, really bad. I would not, after I would publish a book, I wouldn't be able to write for a good 2, 3 months at a time. And so it's kind of become a sign to me that I need to find a more sustainable way to write. I need to find a way that writing for me isn't hard work. It it's still work, but it shouldn't be taking over my life in the way that it has in the past. And so I'm kind of thinking maybe it's not writing every single day, only writing on certain days, cutting myself off from specific word count goals and all that stuff because I usually have a word count goal of like 3,000 words, and maybe should I should stop there, stop while I'm ahead. It's just really hard to think about, and it's because writing has for so long been my refuge, and now that I have to re-examine my relationship to writing, it's something that is going to be really hard for me because it's never been something that I've had to examine closely or really think about deeply like that. So for my writing to become a tax on me feels wrong. It doesn't feel like I'm being true to myself, but my body's telling me that I can't keep going like this. So I need to find a new way to write. So I'm thinking of a new schedule. I'm thinking that maybe I shouldn't write every day. Maybe I only write on specific days, and then the rest of the week I have off, and kind of coming up with those days and what works for me and what doesn't work for me. Um, that's been pretty tough. Um, I don't know if I'm gonna write for 3 days, maybe 4 days, see how things work out, and then yeah, I'm just going through it right now. Um, as for what I wrote, I was writing fan fiction, experimenting with show don't tell. Um, it's a little hard for me to it's a little hard for me because I'm such a teller in my own writing. So it's kind of hard for me to show feelings because I just want to tell you things. And so there's this book that was recommended to me that would help me with showing and not telling. And it's definitely something that I want to check out. If I find the the book, I'll put it up here. But I really, really want to get better at my writing, and show don't tell is something that I have been working on for God knows how long in this fan fiction that I'm writing. Hopefully, I'm coming across more as a shower and not a teller, and it really it it comes out better, because I want to be a better writer. I want to be a more thoughtful, well thought out writer, but it just becomes really, really hard because you kind of get stuck in your ways. And I'm trying to teach myself a new way to write my stories, and I'm trying to get out of my old habits, which is always something difficult to do. Um, I really, really hope that I become the writer that I'm meant to be by doing this, but who knows about that? Other than that, Sunday has been a pretty progressive day. We got a lot done. Um, and I will catch up with you guys tomorrow. So this is my outfit of the day. Quick little matching set. I'm currently at work. I work as a teacher at a school. So this is my outfit of the day. So I just got finished writing for the day. I wrote my newsletter, which goes out tomorrow. It's iris.i0 for those of you who want to read it. I'll put the link right here. But I just finished writing my 1,000 words for the day, and it felt really good. I still feel like I can keep going, but I am going to rest. I'm going to give myself a break, and then I'm going to see if I still feel up with it when I get home in order to keep writing. Now I'm watching a YouTube video. I'm sitting in my office and I'm just waiting for my next class to begin. So yeah, that's the writing update for Monday. I'm feeling very sad, very demotivated. I want to work, but it's not in me today. Tuesday's vlog is gonna be very, very short. Yeah. So I didn't record a vlog for yesterday. Yesterday was my last considered work day, the last day that I'm writing, and now today is a rest day. So I am resting by watching YouTube, watching videos, just relaxing and getting that rest in. My cat is here. Everyone, this is Daenerys. But yeah, it was a good week. I don't feel burnt out. I don't feel tired. But then again, I never do even when I'm writing. And Rhaegar, leave it alone. Leave it alone. In fact, move. All right. Cat's distracted. Yeah, so it is a rest day. I'm going to be resting Thursday, today, Friday, and Saturday. Um I'm going to be resting for those 3 days and then get started again writing on Sunday. I don't think I'm going to be writing fan fiction on Sunday. I think I'm going to be writing Vanquished on Sunday, but we'll just see how that goes. I'm also writing on Substack, so if you want to follow me, it's irisi0.substack.com. And I just recently posted a kind of essay about resting and relaxation, what that means to me now, and it's something that I'm still struggling with. I will not lie about that. But it's something that I'm becoming better at. And so yeah, so I'm resting, I'm relaxing, and I'm just trying to be better. it is Sunday. I'm supposed to go to my writing group today, and I'm so excited. After 3 days of rest, I feel rejuvenated. I want to get back into the world of that I was writing and continue the story. I'm so excited. Like, it feels so good to be able to work again. 3 days off is so long. And 3 days off is so long, but I needed it. I'm still getting into the rhythm of this group of this new schedule that I made for myself. So Sunday through Wednesday I work, Thursday through Saturday I relax, and it is so hard to like put yourself in that mindset, but it feels so good once you get it. Like oh my gosh, like I just really want to write today, and I'm gonna write a lot. I don't know. I have to do laundry today, so um maybe in between batches of laundry, I'll get some writing in too after my writing group. But we'll see how that all goes. Um Currently working on Vanquished. I decided to stop writing fan fiction and write Vanquished. But I'm also reading about on this book on my Kindle called, let me see what it is called. Um, Understanding Show Don't Tell and Really Getting It. And it is a really good book. I'm like learning a lot about Show Don't Tell and how to write properly. Um, Especially with my third person limited writing style. I'm really learning about how to best go about show don't tell, because one thing that I do get a lot is that I use a lot of filter words, and so this goes over that, and now I'm working on not using those words and doing more showing and allowing the reader to be closer to the POV character. So um, it's a very good book. I recommend it to anyone. They have a whole fiction university series that is supposed to help you write fiction. And so I bought this book for like $4 on my Kindle, and hopefully it'll help me become a better writer and all that good stuff. After this, I think the next technique book I'm going to read is John Truby's The Anatomy of Story. I've had that book for a hot minute, and so I'm trying to be more conscious of my writing and how to be a good writer. Um, I want to be the best writer that I can be. And, I have a master's in creative writing, but, you know, I want to be the best writer that I can be. I want to um, be an author one day, a traditional published author one day. And so this is just a step in the right direction. Right now, I'm currently self published, and that's been a dream, but I also want to try being traditionally published and see how that works out for me. But yeah, that's what I've been doing um, since the last time I updated. It's currently Sunday, and that is that's the update I got for you. So I am back at work. It is a Monday. It is the second day of me writing and working. I'm just so happy to be back at work and to be writing again. It feels so good. But I think I'm going to end the vlog here because I feel like there's just so much content and I'm really stuffing this video full of stuff. But yeah, this is the end of March, and this was a vlog of me writing, a little bit about what I read and all that stuff. So thank you for tagging along.